All right, should be setting up your Facebook. It says live on here. All right, I think we're live.
Yeah.
Are we live? Do you see it on your profile?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. All right. So we actually know this is crazy. This is actually the first time I ever got this working on the first try. Usually it takes like at least 20 minutes to get this running. But all right, guys. So I'm pumped to be doing this Facebook Live. We're on Zoom, so we can't really see any of the comments because apparently Facebook deactivated the dual Facebook Live. But I'm super pumped to be doing this call because I have one of my good friends and clients, KD, who just recently went through the Wealthy Body Academy and just Wealthy Body training and transformed his freaking body. It was an incredible story. He was dealing with a lot of mental and physical plateaus and was really just struggling. I'll let him talk about this, but struggling to get to the level like physically that he wanted to. So what we'll do is kind of go through his transformation. Pretty pumped to have you on, man. So if you want to just kind of go ahead and introduce yourself, who you are, what do you do, where are you from?
I appreciate it, bro. Yeah, like you mentioned, my name's KD, man. I've lived in St. Pete my whole life, so I'm used to the outdoors lifestyle, playing sports, being active. We went to college together, obviously, so we've got that background. And I was always pretty fit. I've been working out since I was 16, as a matter of fact. But 2 straight winters, hit a pretty dirty bulk there. And I mean, like Doritos and chocolate chip cookies, like every night, kind of dirty bulk. And sure, I was, pretty impressed with my strength in a way, but really I just became something I didn't want to be.
Gotcha.
I was just kind of stuck in purgatory. Am I trying to get big and do this? Am I trying to get lean and do that? Eventually I ended up going nowhere. So
yeah. So before we get into all your story and everything, what you're doing, tell us a little bit like what you were doing before you reached out to me and before we got you rolling the program, like kind of like your life, like kind of like what you did for like in terms of work and just like in terms of working out, like how was your setup and what were the kind of results you're getting from that?
Yeah, so I've used to really frequently fluctuate 20 pounds up and down during the year. And what my typical schedule would be, I worked an office job, 8 to 5, and wouldn't really move around much there. And if I was really watching my diet, no more office pizza, no more snacks, things like that. And I'd always go at least 4 days out of the week, go hit the gym, do some workouts, kind of always the same, several workouts, same schedule. And, over time, if I started feeling bad about myself, I'd diet, for 2 weeks, but never felt like it was a great diet. There'd be days where I would just have one meal a day. And even if it was just Chipotle, I don't think I would have seen results. And I would break from that sort of diet real easily while still maintaining relatively the same gym schedule. And over time, even the gym became not really appealing. And I used to love going and, I looked forward to going, and that would kind of fade and wane here and there.
You're frustrated.
Very frustrating. And the fact that I thought I was putting in all this work, I'd be in there an hour or so, or I thought I was watching my diet, and I'd lose 5-10 pounds, and then I'd gain half of that, if not all of that, back right away.
Yeah.
It really was just purgatory. I mean, I was caught in the middle of all the wrong places.
Gotcha. And I want to touch on this. I think a lot of people watching this will probably resonate with that a lot. Just kind of being stuck in that, like putting the work in. Like a lot of the guys in the program are, either in sales or entrepreneurs or marketers, and they aren't opposed to hard work. A lot of the guys that talk to, they want to work hard, but for some reason their hard work isn't getting them the results they want. So I want to touch on that real quick. So why do you feel like, because I know you since college, man, you will put the fucking work in. So why do you think, like, even though you're putting that hard work in, why do you think that you're kind of struggling to still see those results that you wanted to accomplish?
Because I had no plan, really. Even the plan I thought I had wasn't a concrete plan. It's kind of like exerting all this energy, 100% willpower and effort in 5 different directions, as opposed to narrowing it down in 1 or 2 pathways.
Mm-hmm.
And I just got burnt out, at that point. And obviously I didn't let myself go completely, but I saw how that was, a path for some people. So yeah, with all that effort, the sweat in the gym, the trying to be mindful and think of different strategies for myself, I just wore myself out thin, trying too many different things at once and really not knowing, I couldn't
Right.
commit to anything if I thought it was good because I wouldn't see the results.
Right. And if you don't mind me getting a little deeper here, but obviously you're putting the work in, you were getting burnt out because you weren't seeing it. Confidence is a big thing I talk to about guy. I know you're a pretty naturally confident guy, but how did that affect you in terms of like, obviously you had a result in mind, you knew what you want to look like, but you couldn't get there. What kind of like mental like impact did it have on you in terms of maybe confidence or the way you saw yourself, just stuff like that? How was it affecting you?
Yeah, man. So first thing was definitely a shot to the ego because in my mind I had to look for myself and something that I knew I could accomplish. The fact that I wasn't there, shirts kind of fitting a little weird, hanging a
Yeah.
little, belts kind of, pants getting a little tight. That's not good because I want to look good. I want to feel good going out, and I have the feel good, but it doesn't match the look good, and that just is a shot to the ego. And secondly, and maybe more importantly, the fact that I knew I was exerting that effort and wasn't getting the job done really made me kind of doubt myself.
Mhm.
I'm a little harder on myself than most other people. That's just kind of my way of getting myself amped up. And I was hard on myself, man. I was like, what the hell are you doing? Like, buck up, dude. Figure it out. And the fact that I wasn't figuring out, not solving this problem it was really annoying.
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah. You definitely are very hard on yourself, which was kind of a tool that we used towards the end of your transformation, which we could maybe talk about later. So you finished. So you were kind of in this rut. You were, like you said, you're trying to buck up, but nothing was kind of shifting. What was the tipping point where you're like, you know what, screw it, I need to reach out, I need to get help, like I need to do something different. What was the turning point for you?
Your extreme marketing is what it was. But on
I
the
appreciate
real,
that.
this is something I was like really proud of, that even if I did it, I was not going to tell anybody just because, again, that's my ego. That's me. I want to get it done on my own.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, for me, it really was that I trusted you. I knew you.
Yeah.
And I just gone to that point where whatever I was trying to diet, however I was trying to work out, I just ran out of options. And so, one hurdle is I had to overcome that ego of mine and actually go out and ask for help because I just ran out of options. And at this point, it's like I can't keep going, like a car stuck in the mud, spending all that gas staying in the same spot.
Right.
Let me have someone tow me, or at least give me a push.
Right.
So that was it. It's just swallowing pride and realizing like there's got to be another way. I don't have all the answers. Let's just try this.
Okay. And before we get into your results and everything, I know you're skeptical, even though you knew me from college. So we were in a relationship, but just so people watch this, maybe what were kind of your skepticisms? I know you had some, just so we can kind of get this out in the open. Like, what were you thinking? Like, obviously, like, it is an investment to join Wealthy Body. It's not a small investment. So like, what were you thinking? Like, as you were making that like, what were the skepticisms about that before joining that you're like, I'm sure you had some like self-doubt or whatever was going through your mind.
Yeah, I just really, I know it sounds vague, but is it worth it? Am I really going to get back what I put in? It's
Right.
sort of hard to quantify tips, experiences, motivations, holding someone accountable in a dollar amount.
Right.
I don't have those figures or calculations.
Right.
But just like, am I really going to get my money's worth? Like, am I going to transform that much? Is he going to tell me something that I don't know or that I don't want to follow? Is it something I already know that I can't follow, or is it going to be something that that's a great tip, or, oh, this is a great product, or that's a great workout?
Gotcha.
That was my thing. I stay literate, working out for, 8 years at that point it had been.
Right.
I pick up some things, I'm not saying bodybuildingforum.com is the best place, but
Right.
you do read, you pick up on some things. So that was a number of things, like, what can you actually provide me that I don't know?
Right.
And, yeah, that was skeptical. Obviously, we had that conversation, but at that point in time, I needed to make a change. What I was doing wasn't working. Let's give this a shot.
Yeah, yeah, and that's why I love. Yeah, that's why I love your stories, because like yours, like I work with guys kind of from both angles. Usually, it's people it's guys that aren't as much, like, don't have as much workout experience. So you're someone who came in here and you had like 8 years of experience. Like you said, you had that workout experience, but for some reason you still weren't reaching your goals. So like kudos to you just for obviously making that leap of faith, and just trusting the process. So before we get, I know we're kind of pushing off your results. We're gonna get into that. But once you joined, so you decided to join, you made the shift. What was like for you? What was the biggest change, and what was the biggest like? What do you think like made like the biggest impact, the biggest needle mover for you, going from doing it on your own to like actually joining the program and like getting it like tailored for you?
The number one thing, at least right away, was definitely the accountability uh, tools or methods. So keeping track, we had an Excel sheet, where you kind of built it out for me and had our calories and proteins and all that stuff. Keeping track of everything made me realize how I could very easily exceed my calorie goals, but also help me like stay in line, keeping track of weight every day. That little stuff, those kind of things you take for granted when you're not doing it. When you are doing it, it's like, okay, like I see I'm screwing up here, and I need to like.
I lost you for a second. Oh, there we go. You're back. I think it's my Wi-Fi.
Oh, you're good. But no, just to summarize what I said, having the sheets, having the calorie applications, keeping track of what I'm eating really was the number one thing that put me back on that path. I mean, those first 4 weeks, I think I lost 10 pounds.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Real fast.
Yeah. You're losing like really quick. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. So with that, you said that's the main thing, is just having like, just kind of taking inventory. There's a good quote by Peter Drucker. He says that, what gets measured gets managed. So for you, like actually knowing, you're eating, you're trying to lose weight, but you maybe weren't totally sure like how much food was coming in, what was actually coming in, going out. And then once you got clear on that, that was kind of a big push for you to start moving in the right direction.
Yeah, absolutely. How much I was eating, and eventually, after the first couple of months with you and I, it was what I was eating. And, we could tell over time, for me at least, these carbs, not so good. Yeah. Let's try to phase them out and then phase them back in, which is what we ended up doing. Mm-hmm. And now, we'll get into this later, but after incorporating carbs, I still am looking relatively lean and gaining strength. I'm about to hop into a cut again, just kind of given my circumstances. But, 4 months ago, 3 months ago, even had I had the kind of weekend I just had, I swear to God, I would have ballooned 15 pounds. You've seen that.
Right. I did. Yeah, it's crazy.
I go from 190 on a Friday to 205 on a Monday. That's absolutely wild.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen anymore. So, knowing what to eat, but keeping myself accountable has been really beneficial.
Yeah, I think that's the most powerful thing, is like now that you've gone through the program, a lot of the guys that are joined, they will stay for, Zach Mulvihill, he's been in for 15 months. So a lot of guys like to stay, but at the same time, like you have the tools now. Like if you were to, like, would you say like now versus the beginning of the program, like doing this and getting like, obviously fitness and health, there's always, which you probably realize now, you're always going to be progressing. Like you're not ever going to be at the goal and just be there forever. Like it's always it's a dynamic goal, if you will. So it's always kind of moving. But do you feel like now you have like so much more clarity and like direction as to where you need to go?
Yeah, I really do. This last month, March, I was actually, before my gym closed down, really, I was going to have like a bulking month, and I told myself, all right, in April, like I'm going to go cut back down, just because we did like a pretty intense, 2-3 month cut. I mean, for a month there was really intense, and I got super lean, and I didn't really lose much strength. That's another thing you and I talked about, is strength, which is important to me. Didn't really lose that much. Didn't really feel kind of weak and pathetic. And now in this past month, increasing my, my food intake, my carbs, for me at least, in the gym, I'm noticing myself get stronger, lifting 20-30 pounds more. And at this point, since it's just kind of a great time to start cutting, really, because like all I can do is high rep stuff anyway.
Right.
I'm super confident to taking the same principles we learned during our intense cut, applying them, and getting leaner or more shredded, more appropriately to say.
Let's go, man. Awesome. So with that being said, I'm actually airdropping if I can get it to work, I'm airdropping your transformation. I'm going to try and share it. Man, it's not going to work. Let me save it from Facebook. I'm going to try and screen share your transformation photo, just so people can see it if that's possible. But yeah, let's talk about your results, man, while I'm doing that. Let me grab the spreadsheet as well. But I think what was your starting weight when you joined? Do you remember?
I think I had it at like between 215 and 220. I know the first week was kind of a weird week because I just got a new job, so I had a week off, and I was just kind of partying and enjoying living my best life at that point. But
Yeah.
I would fluctuate from like 215, 220. I think at my highest before we started working together was like 225 at the most.
Gotcha. Can you see that photo, by the way? Are you able to see
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
I
I
don't know
see
if
it.
people on Facebook can see it. So that's your freaking and you even got that wasn't even the final product too. You got even a little leader to that. All right, so obviously I'm just doing this so I think people on Facebook can see it. I'm not
Yeah,
sure,
I
but I'm
popped mine
hoping
up
they
so you
can.
can see it.
So you can? Awesome. So they still see us or just the photo?
I think it's just a photo on Facebook.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, you're
So
on the
yeah,
top
so
right of
so
the screen.
what was that?
You're on the top right of the screen.
Okay, cool. So before you were 220, this is you. And I think the biggest thing that I would say, just from working with you specifically, and I've seen this with a few clients, is like the customization. Like I've had guys, like Kaz, for example, who is also he's getting to this leanness level right now. He's been able to eat carbs the entire time going down. For you, for whatever reason, a lot of people argue calories in, calories out, but I've witnessed it firsthand with you. Your body was just super insulin resistant. It wasn't able to handle it. So that, like, this photo right here kind of represents that. Like you were working your ass off in this picture and you still were not seeing the results that you wanted. So kind of having that pivot to kind of getting more sensitive to carbs and implementing a plan. So results. Side by your results, and let's not just talk obviously I'm going to take this off and say obviously physical results. I mean, you're looking freaking ripped. You're what, I think you're 40 pounds down in this picture, something like that.
Yeah, I was like between like 178, 180, something like that.
Awesome. Yeah, so it's a crazy transformation. Let's talk about your physical transformation. Like what were you happy about, and then we'll kind of shift into maybe the mental and just like the overall breakthroughs that you had.
Yeah, man. So physically, obviously, again, like for me, ego is a big thing. I looked better, so I felt better everywhere I went. Just had more confidence, whatever I did. Didn't really help my wallet because I had to buy a lot more clothes.
Yeah, that's the only negative. You got to buy new clothes as you transform.
Dude, I really did. It felt good that some of the like the tighter fitting clothes like fit a lot better.
Yeah.
But I have like 3 pairs of pants that fit right now. And 2 of them are hot.
That's
But
awesome. I like hearing that.
confidence was great. And then just feeling more athletic, again, someone I've always kind of played sports either at a club level or even just recreationally, feeling faster, leaner, quicker, more agile. Funny thing, this is random, but I went golfing. I took my mom and, just kind of give her something to do. And I was kind of going after a ball on a par 3 and I was jogging to it and I came back to pick up the ball or to hit the hole, whatever. And my mom was like, "Oh, wow, you run so athletically." And I'm just like, "What?" Yeah, you run way better now than you used to. I'm like, weird, but okay, I'll take
Yeah,
it.
yeah, that's awesome.
So
So,
that's one of the
so you
benefits.
obviously you noticed like a big spike in energy once you started to get feel like looking better.
Yeah. The once I got into my schedule, the energy was great. Matter of fact, my energy was higher than I thought it would be, even during those caloric deficit days.
Awesome.
Just tapped into natural, adrenaline more than I thought I had.
Yeah, amazing. And then let's talk about like the mental. I'll close this out now. I'm sure people have seen it by now. Let's talk about the mindset. So like, what kind of shifted? I know you said you had a lot of breakthroughs. What kind of like, I guess the question I have for you is the Katie that you were before you started the program versus the Katie now. What's kind of shifted on a mindset level and a mental level for you?
The number one thing, like I forgot what weight it was when I broke 190, under 190.
What's up, dogs? No, you're good. You're good. Don't worry about it. Who cares?
When I broke 190, it's kind of like, wow, I can do this. I haven't been this light since college when I first met you. So that kind of gave me the I don't know, that confidence, like, oh shit, like I can do this, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
This is actually working. My investment is worth it, and that's another big reason we stuck with it, because whatever plan you had or you were planning to put in was clearly working.
Okay, gotcha, man. And then, so I guess we'll kind of wrap this up. But what do you think for anyone's kind of like on the fence? Anyone's on the fence of like they know they should make a shift. Obviously, with this coronavirus thing going on right now, people are you know, I believe more than ever, people need to be getting healthy. They need to be taking care of themselves because, you know, obviously people's stresses are high. They're stuck indoors. Right. If there's ever a time to focus on yourself, it's now. So anyone that's on the fence, I guess what has really changed in your life since going through this transformation? What kind of advice would you give to anybody who's kind of on the fence of moving forward with their health, investing in themselves?
You just, number one, you feel happier, man. Honestly, everything is just way better.
Yeah.
Your relationships are better. Your structure in your life is better. You just wake up happier, dude. I don't know. It's that's the easiest thing I could say. It's hard to quantify.
Yeah.
You're just in a better mood all the time, and if you combine performance with, you know, confidence, just everything. Every day is a good day, it feels like.
Yeah, I love it. I know, and I like how you said it's hard to quantify. I say that all the time. For me, and that's what I've noticed with working with clients, is it's really hard to quantify. And like I say, people will make. I can ask you how like you're doing on work, but I've noticed that, you know, when people start putting money into themselves, or even just not even money, is putting time and effort into themselves. What I found is, although it's not a direct straight line to, you know, business or work or relationships or whatever, what I found is when you do that, it just carries over. It's hard, like you said, it's hard to quantify, but it just kind of carries over into those aspects of life.
Absolutely. My work has been fantastic. My, you know, relationship has been great. And I honestly, in the last 6 months, I've had nothing to complain about. Not at all.
Amazing. I love it. Real quick, I have a question. I don't know if you can answer this right now, but I know a lot of guys that are watching this might be in relationships or married. How has your relationship changed or shifted since kind of? I know it's already really good, but did anything improve since going through this?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously performing well. I don't think my girlfriend thinks I'm ugly. Baby, am I still pretty? That's a yes.
Oh, nice. I heard it.
But no, that's definitely been better. And I'm lucky, you know, my girlfriend and I both go to the gym and like keep each other accountable. And she's
Awesome.
definitely taking back some of my like tips as well. So it's been good in all fronts.
Awesome. Cool, man. I guess we'll end this here, but any last tips of advice you would give, like I said, to anybody who's on the fence, like any advice you would give for someone who wants to make the shift in their health and their fitness?
You just got to know if you really want it, because you can easily, and you've come across this, you can easily make the investment and then just bail out after a month. My thing is, like, when you get to that point, you'll know. And then when you know you're out of options, or you know you want to make a change, just go ahead. Don't second guess it. Just jump in, commit. What's a month? What's 3 months in the grand scheme of things? Hopefully you live for tons more. So when you get to that moment, I think you'll know. And when you do, don't second guess. Just pull the trigger.
I love it, man. Let's go. All right, bro. It was awesome talking to you. I'm going to go ahead and end the live. Let me see if I can figure this out. So people that are watching this, before I do it, anyone who's watching this, if you are interested in taking your health and your fitness to the next level, and you want to maybe jump on just a coaching call, a free coaching call to see if I can help you, just message me the word KD. Obviously it's his name, KD. Message me KD, and I'll know that you're watching this call. And what we'll do is we'll jump on a quick, 10, 15 minute, game plan session, see if I can help you. I'm just, I want to help as many people as I can during this time of uncertainty. And I think Katie would agree that, putting your health first right now is probably the most important thing you can do. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for watching the live. If you got value out of this, just give I can't see anyone right now, but just give this video as many hearts and likes as you possibly can. Maybe share this with someone who needs to see it. And thank you guys so much for watching.